All right, so this is just practice on law of sines, law of cosines. It's a nice little mix up here. You have to decide what you're using. Little review. All right, so this one says determine how many triangles are possible given, and then I'm given two sides and an angle. So I'm going to start by drawing a triangle, and you can see that we're always using A, B, C unless otherwise stated. So my angles, angle A, B, and C. Side A is 3, so across from angle A, I'm going to put 3. Side B is 7, so across from angle B, I'll put a 7. And angle A is 70 degrees. So first what I have to do is see if I'm using law of sine or law of cosines. So if you look right here, you have a side, and an angle. So two sides and an angle outside, which is SSA. Remember, we use law of cosines for SSS and SAS, law of sines for everything else. SSA is also our ambiguous case, so this can be no one or two triangles. So first I look to see if I can find one of these missing angles, and I can't because there's two missing. So I'm going to start with law of sines. I'm going to set up my proportion. I'm going to start with a ratio that I do know, which is sine of 70 over 3. And then a ratio that I don't know. So I have this 7, so I'm going to have to use angle B. So sine of B over 7. And now I'm going to cross multiply and solve for angle B. Remember, I do have to check to see if this is 1, 2, or no triangles. Or if it's no triangles, then I can stop. But if it's, I do get an answer, I have to check to see if it's a possibility of 2. All right, cross multiply. 3 times the sine of B is equal to 7 times the sine of 70. Divide both sides by 3. This is gone. So now I have sine of B is equal to 7 sine of 70 divided by 3. To get rid of this sine, I use sine inverse. So I'm going to sine inverse both sides. Sine inverse is going to cancel this out, and then I'll sine inverse this sine. So I have B is equal to sine inverse of 7 times the sine of 70 over 3. Now remember, you want this on your paper because this is what you're typing in your calculator, and that is worth points there. So first off, check my mode. I am in degreed mode. And then I'm going to do sine inverse of 7 sine of 70, close the parentheses on the 70, divided by 3, close the parentheses, hit enter. I get an error. It's a domain error. Therefore, I have no triangles with this. If I wanted to double check to make sure I typed it right, I could always just type this alone, and you'll see that it is either more than or less than 1, so it won't give you any triangles. All right, let's try another one here. Same process to start. Draw a triangle. Angle A, angle B, angle C. Side A is 3, side B is 2, angle A is 39 degrees. If you look, this is a side, and an angle. So I have side, angle, which is my ambiguous case. So I'm going to start with my proportion. Sine of 39 over 3 is equal to sine of B over 2. Cross multiply and solve for angle B. So I have 3 times the sine of B is equal to 2 times the sine of 39. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. That's gone. And now I'm going to sine inverse both sides. So sine inverse this side, this will cancel. Sine inverse this side, and I have B is equal to sine inverse of 2 times the sine of 39 over 3. And I'm going to put that in my calculator. I'll clear that out. That says error. And do sine inverse of 2 sine of 39 divided by 3. Hit enter. And I get 24.8059, so on and so forth. Right? So I'm going to put angle B is 24.806 degrees. Now let me look at my triangle and make sure that's even possible. It is, because it's under 180. So that is an answer. I'm going to store this as X. I'm going to save it because I am going to need it to find the other side and the other angle. But I want to check to see if there's another triangle. So I'm going to store this as X. So now it's saved so I can't lose it. Now I'm going to check to see if there's another triangle. So I'm going to do 180 minus that. So 180 minus second answer, or 180 minus X, it doesn't matter. And I get 155.194. So now I'm going to go look to see if it could be 155.194. So can this be 155.194 degrees? No, because that's over 180. So that is not a possible triangle. So we only have one triangle here. I can cross this off. And now I can find the rest of the triangle. I like to put the 24.806 in here just to like make sure I'm like knocking things off. So now I can see that I can get angle C really quickly. So I can get angle C. Wait, what are the directions here? Determine how many triangles are possible. I don't even have to do the rest of that. Okay, so I think in the upcoming ones, I'll have to go find the rest of these. But on this one, the directions are just how many triangles are possible. This is one triangle. If you want to practice and find the other angles, I believe I have that on my answer key. All right, didn't read the directions on those first two. Next one, determine how many triangles are possible and solve any triangles that are result. Okay, so this you will have to solve. All right, so draw my triangle. A, B, C. Side A is 2, side C is 1, and angle C is 25 degrees. SSA again, this is SSA. So my ambiguous case, so I'm going to start off with my proportion using the law of sines. Sine of 25 over 1 is equal to sine of angle A over 2. Notice you're doing angle A now because that's where the 2 is across from. All right, so I have 2 times, actually I like to do the variable first. So 1 times the sine of A, which if you think about 1 times the sine of A is just sine of A, so I can get rid of that 1 there. You can keep it if you want to. Equals 2 times the sine of 25. I do not have to divide both sides by 1. I could divide both sides by 1, but come on. We already know that you get the same answer there, so I'm just going to leave it. But I do have to get rid of this sine here, so I'm going to use sine inverse. And I have A is equal to sine inverse of 2 times the sine of 25 degrees. Divided by 1 if you want. All right, so I'm going to do sine inverse of 2 times the sine of 25 degrees. Close the parentheses on the 25. Close the parentheses again. And I get angle A is 57.697 degrees. Let's see if it could be 57 degrees. It can. All right, I'm going to store this as X because I'm going to need it again to find those other 2 sides. So I'm going to store it as X, or sorry, the other angle on the other side. And I'm going to do 180 minus that to see if I have a second triangle. And I get angle A is 122.302. Nope, it's 303. All right, let's say, can this be 122 degrees? Yes, it can be, because that would only bring me up to, 147? So I do have a second triangle here. So I'm going to box that also. I'm going to put that there's 2 triangles, because it does ask me how many triangles there are. So I'll box that. And now I'm going to go find the other side and the other angle for both triangles, because it says solve any triangles that result. Okay? All right, so I'll start with my first triangle. I went back here. So I need that 57.967, which is stored as X, which is good. And I'm going to put the 57.967 here just to think through it, and I can erase it when I'm done and fill it with the 122.303, or I can draw another triangle if it helps. 57, my bad. 57.697. Okay, so I can get angle C next. I can get angle C by doing 180 minus 25 minus, or I can do 185 minus 25 plus the 57.697, or angle A. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do 180, oops, clear, 180 minus 25 plus, notice I'm putting this in parentheses because I'm going to add them and subtract it from 180. And then I need angle A. Remember, angle A is at 57.697, which is stored as X. So I'm just going to hit X right there. And I get angle C is 97.303 degrees. So 97.303. All right, now I just need side B, so I'm going to use the law of sines to do that. I'll do that off to the side over here. So I'm going to do the ratio that I do know from the start, which was sine of 25 over 1, is equal to, and now I need side B. So I'm going to do the sine of angle B, which is the 97.303. So you can put 97.303 right here, or you can put angle B. I'm just going to put angle B and then remember that it's 97.303, so I can use this more than once. All right, remember you're solving for side B here. So I'm going to do B times the sine of 25 is equal to 1 times the sine of B, which I don't need that 1 right there, so I'm just going to delete it. And then to get B by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by the sine of 25. So I have B equals, and this will give me, actually I'm going to write it over by my answer here. I get B equals, and now I have to do this. So I need the sine of angle B, which angle B is 97.303. Ooh, I put C there instead of B. No wonder I was confused. This is supposed to be a B, right? That's what B is. 97.303, and then divided by 25. So I'm going to do sine of, and remember I can't type 97.303, but it's right above right there. So if you have a calculator, I can grab it. If not, hit second answer, and then divide it by sine of 25. Close the parentheses, hit enter, and I get side B is 2.347. All right, now I need to go back to my second triangle. So now I need the 122.303 on my screen. Remember how I got that 122.303? I got it not from that. I don't know why I circled it. I got it from doing 180 minus this. So I'm going to do 180 minus X, and my 122.303 is going to come back up on the screen. I'm now going to store this as X, as my new X, so I can use it. All right, so now I'm going to find my angle B, and you should have your directions written right off to the side, so you don't have to show it again. So I'm going to do 180 minus 25 plus angle A. Angle A is now stored as X. Close the parentheses, and I get 32.697 degrees. Now I need side B. Remember the directions to find side B are right here. You have to do sine of angle B divided by sine of 25. Remember, you're using 32.697 for your angle B. So once again, I'm doing sine of angle B, 32.697, which you can grab or hit second answer, divided by sine of 25. And I get 1.278. And there are my two triangles, and there are 6 total answers. All right, let's move on to the next one. Solve the given triangle. Number 4, solve the given triangle. So I'm going to draw it. ABC. It's also a dead giveaway that this is not SSA. Well, I shouldn't say dead giveaway, but it doesn't say tell me how many there are, which I would think it's not SSA, but we'll see. We'll see. Side A is 6, side B is 5, and side C is 3. So this is clearly not SSA. This is SSS. SSS, we use law of cosines. Now remember, for the law of cosines, when it's SSS, we do have a rule. We do have to find the biggest angle first. The biggest angle is this angle A right here, so I have to find that. So law of cosine starts off with side squared. So I'm going to do 6 squared, which is the one that's opposite of this, equals the other two sides squared, 3 squared plus 5 squared, minus 2 times those two sides, 3 times 5, times the cosine of the angle you're looking for, which was A. And now I have to solve for angle A. Remember, I'm going to do this in buckets to solve this because A is attached to this right here right now. So I'm going to see what this is, and then what this number is, but I'm going to keep it attached to that. Okay, so 6 squared is 36 equals 3 squared plus 5 squared. So 9 plus 25 is 34. And yes, you can use a calculator, but sometimes mental math is easier. Minus 2 times 3 times 5, 15 times 2 is 30, cosine of A. All right, so now I have to get cosine of A by itself. Remember, this is attached, the negative 30, I should say, is attached to that. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract 34 from both sides. When the numbers are small, it's nice. 2 equals negative 30 cosine of A. I want to get A by itself, but first I have to get cosine of A by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 30. This is gone. So now I have cosine of A is equal to 2 over negative 30. And yes, you can simplify it to negative 1/15, but you don't need to. All right, so I need to solve for A, so I need to get rid of the cosine. To get rid of cosine, I use cosine inverse. Cosine inverse. So I have A is equal to cosine inverse of 2 over negative 30. So I have cosine inverse of 2 divided by negative 30. And I get 93.823. And that is my first angle that's missing. So 93.823. Get rid of that star there. 93.823 degrees. Okay. All right, remember, since it's SSS, there's not a second triangle. I don't have to worry about any of that. That's only for SSA. So now I'm going to find another angle. Remember, after using law of cosines, I switched to law of sines. And it doesn't matter which angle that you solve for next. I like to do them from biggest to smallest. It's just a personal preference. So I'm going to start off with the ratio I do know. Sine of 93.823, which I'm just going to put angle A, which is this angle right here, just so we all realize that. Over side A, which is 6, is equal to, and then I'll find B next. So I'll do sine of B over 5. All right, remember, we're solving for angle B. We already know what angle A is. It's that number over there. So I'm going to do 6 times the sine of angle B is equal to 5 times the sine of angle A. To get B by itself, I need to get sine of B by itself first, but to do that, I'm going to divide by 6. So now I have this. Let me zoom in, and I need to get rid of the sine now. To get rid of the sine, I'm going to use sine inverse. All right, so now I have B equals sine inverse of 5 times the sine of angle A divided by 6. And remember, angle A is right there on my calculator. I'm going to store it just in case I need it more than once. So store as X, saved. Now I don't have to worry about it. Remember, store, just to be safe. All right, so I'm going to do sine inverse of 5 times the sine of angle A, which I'm just going to put X. I could put second answer if I want, divided by 6. And I get angle B is 56.251 degrees. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I'm rounding to 3 decimals because it didn't say where to round to on this particular set of notes. And in pre-calc, we do 3 decimals unless otherwise stated. So just follow directions to whatever they say. Okay. All right, so now I have angle B is 56.251. 56.251. So now you can see you're only missing angle C. So to get angle C, all I have to do is 180 minus, and then I have to add angle A plus angle B. So I can get angle C by doing 180. I'm typing this in my calculator right now. 180 minus, parentheses, angle A. Angle A is at 93.823, which is stored as X, plus angle B, which is 56.251, which is right above. So if you can grab it, grab it. If not, put second answer. And I get angle C is 29.926 degrees. And there you go. Okay, number 5, which is the last one here. One more practice problem. And I'm going to draw my triangle. And ABC. Side A is 2. Side C is 4. And angle B is 45 degrees. All right, if you look to see what we have right here, we have side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Side, angle, side is law of cosines. So I'm going to use the law of cosines. When it's side, angle, side with law of cosines, there is a rule. You find the missing side first. So I'm going to find side B right here first. And then I'm going to find the smallest angle. All right, so side B first. So I'm going to start with B squared equals, and then my other two sides squared minus 2 times the two sides multiplied cosine of angle B, which is 45 degrees. All right, now I need to solve for side B. Notice if I move everything over here and I say get B by itself, all I got to do is square root. So this is a nice, I like SAS to start. So square root both sides, and I get B is equal to, and now I need to type that in my calculator. Don't forget to put the square root. All right, 2 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 parentheses 2, close it, open a new one, 4, close it, cosine of 45, close the parentheses, hit enter, and I get B is 2.947. Since it's my first answer, 2.947, I am going to store it as X just in case I need it again. Well, I'm going to need it again, but in case I need it when it's already gone. That's what I mean. All right, now I like to switch to the law of sines. You can stick with the law of cosines and solve a missing angle, and then it wouldn't matter which one you find first. But I'm going to switch to the law of sines because it's easier for me, but that means I have to find the smallest angle. So the smallest angle out of these, out of A and C, is A, because A is across from a 2 and C is across from a 4. So I'm going to find angle A next. So I'm going to put sine of A right here just to make sure that I know that I'm finding that. All right, the ratio I do know, sine of angle B, which is 45 degrees, over 2.947. So 2.947 is side B, or you can put 2.947. I'm just going to put side B. And then sine of A over 2. Now remember, you're solving for angle A. We already know what B is. It's right here. All right. So I'm going to do B times the sine of angle A is equal to 2 times the sine of 45. Remember, we're solving for angle A, so I'm going to divide both sides by B, which is stored in my calculator. And now I need to get A by itself. So I'm going to sine inverse both sides. Sine inverse, sine inverse. These cancel. I have A equals sine inverse of 2 times the sine of 45 divided by side B, which is right on my calculator right there, that 2.947. All right, so sine inverse of 2 sine of 45, close the parentheses on the 45, divided by side B. I can either hit X or second answer, or I can go up and grab it. And I get angle A is 28.675 degrees. So angle A, 28.675 degrees. And now all I need is angle C. So angle C, to do that, I'm going to do 180 minus angle B, which is 45 degrees, plus angle A, which is that 28.675. So to get angle C, I'm going to type in my calculator, 180 minus parentheses 45 plus angle A, which is the 28.675. So I can grab it, or I can hit second answer, but it's not stored as X, so don't do that. And I get 106.325 degrees. All right, so that's it for the practice on law of sines and law of cosines.